everyone, my name is Arin Prakash. I'm a second year student from IIM Bangalore BBA program. If I had to state my entire Japan trip in one word, I would call it immersive. My expectations prior to the trip were pretty academic. Since it was a workshop, I thought I'd be busy inside a classroom just dealing with the problems. But as soon as we arrived, I realized it was way more than that. The expectation was settled in a good way. The program structure isn't just about classroom theory. It is designed to develop your brain to be a real problem solver. The field trips in particular completely blew me away. I didn't just expect them to be that good. My single most memorable highlight was honestly the free day. It was such a welcome break after the hectic academic week, and we all really enjoyed it to the fullest. Due to the incredible places like Miyajima, the Hiroshima Atomic Bomb Dome, and the Peace Museum. And that day was also my most impactful cultural experience. The best part was that all the students from different culture and relations went together. We formed different groups and kept switching to make sure that we could interact with everyone and share the unforgettable experience. We tried different foods, and I even tried posters for the first time with my new friends. That mix of history, fun, and connecting with everyone is what made it special. The exposure I got from this experience shaped me a lot. I learned about so many different sectors, but the best thing that I learned was how to be an oriented problem solver. I now have a clear understanding of how to approach a challenge, or even just how to identify if something is really a problem or not. I learned a systematic approach to problem solving, and I know this will definitely help me in future, both in my career and my personal life. My single biggest lesson is that you need to learn how to sell yourself. It's not just about having skills, but knowing how to use them at the right time. And if you don't feel you have all the skills, you have to know how to make the most of what you do know. Being there, I saw 7-8 other students, all with completely different skills, working together. It made me realize that it doesn't matter how small the skill is. It's always useful to have something in your sleeve. This is a lesson I'll remember forever. And I'm going to focus on gathering more skills and making the most of every opportunity I get. My single most important piece of advice is to understand that no idea is a bad idea. So often you start with an idea and then give up because you're worried others will think it's bad. But you have to remember, at one point, just flying from one country to another seemed like a bluff. And today, humans have landed in space. For those people who have made these things happen, their ideas weren't bad. They pushed them. So don't judge your ideas too quickly. Give them time, really think about them, and then when the right time comes, make the most of it.
Hi, I'm Shreya, and I'm in the second year of BBA in Digital Business and Entrepreneurship. If I had to use one word to describe my Japan experience, I'd say transformative. Before leaving, I expected the Japan Immersion Program to be quite structured and academic, full of guest lectures, field visit, and maybe some sightseeing on the side. But I didn't expect how immersive the whole program would feel. The moment I landed, I noticed how everything was clean, quiet, and respectful. Even the smallest interactions felt very thoughtful. That instantly broke my assumption of thinking that this would be just another study trip. It felt very intentional, it felt very deep. My most memorable highlight will be the moments I spent in Hiroshima University. Every interaction with students from all over the world that I had felt so impactful. These are moments that I'll carry for the rest of my life because of how easily we connected despite our cultural and geographical differences. The most impactful cultural experience for me was personally the food culture. It wasn't just about how it tasted, but also how beautifully it was presented and how mindful the eating was. It made me realize that even small daily habits can reflect values like respect and discipline. The collaboration aspect really stood out. Working with Japanese students taught me a lot about communication, how so much can be said without words. Their approach to teamwork was structured, calm, and very respectful, and it pushed me to rethink the way I think about teamwork as well. For the agile part, there was one day where our schedule was completely changed at the last moment because of the weather, and we had to plan an entire company visit in just an hour. It was stressful at first, but it made me realize how adaptability and good team spirit can really change chaos into creativity. This whole experience felt very different from any classroom projects I've ever done. We weren't just studying international collaboration, we were living it, feeling it, and learning it from every single moment that we were there. My biggest lesson was how much cultural humility matters. That openness to learn, to listen, and to just slow down. On a personal level, it made me more confident in cross-cultural settings, and professionally, it gave me a clear sense of the global career I want to build for myself. If you're even slightly considering this program, I'd say go for it. Don't overthink it. Be curious, step out of your comfort zone, and say yes to everything, even if it scares you a little bit. Because the memories and lessons that you take back are worth it 100 times over.
Hi, my name is Dhruv Pavla and I am a second year student at IIM Bangalore pursuing the BBA DBE program. And if I had to describe my entire Japan experience in just one word, it would be enriching. The single most memorable moment from the trip would definitely be working late night to complete the presentation and the script which we had to deliver the next day, and just working with this international group of students in general from Australia, UK and Japan itself. So the most surprising cultural experience I would say was when I had to print something and I was unable to figure out how the machine worked over there. So I approached the cashier at the convenience store for help and communicating with Google Translate the whole time. So he told me that I needed a pen drive, which I didn't have at the time. So I told him that I'll come back later. I didn't tell him when, just told him I'll come back later because it was in my hotel. So I went to my hotel, I got the pen drive, I came by 15 to 20 minutes later and I found that he was still waiting for me by the machine, just waiting for me, and that was unexpected. So the collaborative aspect was very hands-on. We worked in international teams and that meant figuring out how each and every person worked. And what stood out was how quickly we were able to adapt to that, and we just tried our best to accommodate each and every person's time. This experience has made me more confident in my own skin and definitely more comfortable working with different kinds of people in different unfamiliar environments. I think the single biggest lesson I learned was that adaptability and openness matter more than having the perfect plan, because things never seem to go as planned. One piece of advice for students considering applying for this program would be that go in with an open mindset and don't try to control every outcome. The main learning happens when you work with different people and embrace differences. Thank you.